Welcome to Bible Over Brews, deep thoughts firming over time and text. I'm coming at you, Aaron Kru Juice for Verka, and I've got Gumby.
Yes, you do. You have me. You had me a hello.
And I've got Keith.
Where am I? I didn't consent to being here. Who kidnapped me?
We're going to be doing a nice, fun topical on introducing the new Pope. Really just kind of conversation. We want to see what he's doing, see what he's about, and just really enjoy his current reign.
He's got a big robe to fill.
Yes, he
Pun
does.
intended.
Gumby has brought this delightful, what was it, Gumby?
It's an old-fashioned.
Ooh, I love a good old-fashioned. And this was actually made with Basil Hayden Dark Rye. It's a Kentucky straight rye whiskey blended with Canadian rye whiskey and port wine.
Wow.
It's wonderful. You got maraschino cherries in there, orange peel, a little bit of completely organic maple syrup for the sweetener.
Oh, nice.
Oh, brilliant.
Yep.
The fragrance on the top of this is phenomenal.
And 2 round ice cubes to open it up.
Which he brought himself.
That was dedication. Very impressed with that.
Oh, it smells brilliant. I can smell the orange peel right on the top.
That is smooth.
Oh, so smooth. This, Gumby, this is a absolutely brilliant drink.
It ends the night. It ends the night well.
Fantastic.
Might end it too well.
So I often, traveling, I will often pick up Manhattans and Old Fashions just because they're both, good bourbon drinks, whiskey drinks. They're some of my go-tos. Old Fashions, Manhattans, and gin and tonics. Those are my travel drinks.
First time I had an old fashioned, I was at a cigar shop, right? And I already thought it was somebody. There's a bunch of old timers there, and they got their own private lockers with their own stash. They're just like way into it, right? And I'm drinking my beer. I brought some kind of beer. Can't remember what I brought. We're talking. And he's like, "Hey, have you had an old fashioned?" And he already knew the answer to the question. Just maybe by looking at me. And I said, "No, I haven't had one." He's like, let me make you one. Oh, he had a comment of something like, I said, "No, I haven't had one." He's like, "Oh, I didn't know you were a virgin." And it was just that kind of atmosphere. And when they were like, "Ah," and I'm like, all right. And he made me one, and he had these cherries in there that I'm pretty sure I've only found them at Giant Eagle, the maraschino ones. Italian.
They're quite good.
Yeah. So it's the perfect treat once you finish the whole glass. Then you get to eat your cherries.
Delicious. It's funny. I was at an event downtown back when I worked for a certain telecommunications company. And I had been invited to a design board. They were actually designing downtown Cleveland, the flats, and the other side of the bank for the businesses that they were building out. And I was brought in as one of the people, as a consultant for the company I worked for. And I was in this meeting. I walked over to the bar because you got a couple of bar certifications to go over and grab a drink or two. So I walk over. I'm like, I would like a Manhattan. And the guy looks at me like, "Is that a drink?" And I was like,
Child.
and then he looked at the lady and waved her over, and she's like, "Don't worry, I've got this." And she made a brilliant drink for me.
Go on break. Go text your mom. Let her know you're okay.
She's like, "Come back and see me afterwards. I'll get you another." It's hard to find a good bartender.
Oh yeah.
Speaking as a former professional bartender, I can say that.
I've had a smoked old fashioned before. As a matter of fact, you can get them at Carrabba's. They may be seasonal. Don't quote me on that. But they have smoked old fashions there.
Really?
So interested in that. I'm like, what does that mean? Just the flavor of smoke? So I ordered one. No, when they brought this thing out, it was literally smoking because they did it over a fire.
No way.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was a lot.
I'm about to go up to Carrabba's. Awesome. So, we have introduced a new pope.
We did do that.
We did do that. God rest his soul. Pope Francis has passed away. If you listen to our podcast, you know that.
Even if you're not Catholic.
Yeah. And it's
He was a great man.
sad thing. Great man, did a lot of great things for the church. Actually changed a lot of good things in the church as far as leadership structure. He got a lot of the right people in place who he removed people who were not doing their jobs. And I had brought this up before, so I really appreciated the things he had done. Now, the new Pope, Pope Leo, he actually did work underneath Pope Francis. So that I found very interesting. He was actually underneath the Cabinet of Cardinals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very interesting that he was able to be brought in. It was a pretty quick transition. Like, it was not a big deliberation. It was
Was that conclave even like around like a day?
Yeah, it was like I think a day and a half. I think it was under 2.
Yeah.
So it was a very quick deliberation.
Took him longer in the movie to get one.
I was gonna say it was
Right?
way less dramatic than the conclave the movie. Holy crap.
And I was a little suspicious, just because I really did appreciate everything that that Pope Francis had done. However, I have to say I have really been liking the things that he has done.
So let me ask this before you get going on him, though.
Yeah, go
As
ahead.
being the only non-Catholic here, was Pope Francis considered kind of like centrist, maybe to the left, progressive? Would you guys consider him that? Like middle to the left? Or
I
was
mean,
he
relative to popes, I would consider him to the left.
okay?
A pope who does the kind of things and talks the way he talks, especially not just about like issues, but like about like reform,
Yeah.
only comes around once every in a long while. Like the last one was probably technically what, John the 13th, like
Yeah.
who initiated Vatican II, but didn't live to see it.
Yeah.
So like you're talking about like the late 50s, early 60s or whatever. So then Pope Francis comes along. You got to wait 50 years for that.
yeah.
Okay.
Most popes veer right for sure. Like, usually pretty hard right.
That was going to be my next question. Where would this guy kind of fall in line after Francis?
He's very much a centrist.
Okay.
He's very much a centrist.
They might have found the most middle pope that's ever middled.
Yeah.
Really?
Quite
Yeah,
possibly.
in a very, very long time. Yeah.
All right.
That being said, though, I kind of like the direction he's going. He's shown that he has the chops to actually pull some stuff off, and we'll get to a few things he said later. Right now, it's very interesting to go through and look at his life. He was born Robert Francis Prevost, which his ancestry is a little weird too. I didn't actually pull up stuff on that, but he is the first American pope in history. So he is actually from Chicago. Probably a White Sox fan.
Can't all be perfect.
He has French, Italian, Spanish, and Louisiana Creole descent.
He's Creole. No way.
Highlight that last part.
What the heck? Really?
Yeah, Louisiana Creole.
Pull up the-
Oh.
Now,
Oh,
let's highlight that last part again. Say it again.
the whole thing?
Yeah.
French, Italian, Spanish, and Louisiana Creole.
Now, if you actually look at his ancestry, he actually has some Haitian descent inside the Creole.
Oh, wow.
So he technically has African American roots.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. So he is not what we would refer to as 100% Caucasian pope, which most of them are.
Right.
At least in these later centuries, most of them are. Not so much in the early centuries, but it's very, very interesting to look at that and realize they chose somebody who was not only very American, but actually shows the melting pot of America.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's very much everything America represents as far as that mishmash of culture.
And I'm genuinely asking, are you saying that was deliberate?
I was not in the conclave. I couldn't tell you that.
I thought you were.
Possibly.
I mean, it is possible. It is possible he was chosen purposely for that.
Okay.
It's actually possible that Pope Francis chose him because of that. Because he was chosen to lead things by Pope Francis. So,
Do you feel like there had to be a pretty strong endorsement by Pope Francis out the mortal door? Like, it feels like that.
it certainly feels like Pope Francis had set up his successor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. With that being said, I think he's also a pope that could bring a lot of healing to the church, because one thing that Pope Francis, that came out of his time as pope, is that there was some division caused between what we would call new Catholics and traditional Catholics. Like, for example, he definitely pulled in on the Latin Mass. Pope Francis didn't want a lot of the. We spoke about this previously in the podcast.
Yeah.
He didn't want a lot of people only doing Latin Mass, because he wanted, honestly, to bring people into the church. And if you have a series of different parishes that are only doing Latin Masses, you're not speaking to the people. And so he wanted us to be very much a missionary church speaking to the people. And he saw that there was definitely problems with people only doing Latin Masses. I don't think there's any problem with there being a Latin Mass. Again, my kids and I, we attend a Latin Mass. However, the difference is that we don't see any difference between that and a modern Mass. I believe both of them are equally as important. I believe both of them are equally as inspired. So I don't think that one is better than the other. And that was very much kind of where Pope Francis was. And so that's why he pulled back on it, because he wanted to make sure that there was both in the church. He did allow for the Latin Novus Ordo, which is kind of cool. I think Pope Francis is going to continue down that path of figuring out the best way to do Mass. He's kind of already hinted towards that. So I think he will continue to expand and allow more parishes to do the Latin Novus Ordo, as long as they have the English Masses. So there seems to be, I was reading a report from some people who work at the Vatican, who says that it looks like that's the way he's going to progress it. So there's good news for both modern and traditional Catholics there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, the needle to thread there is the big subtext of what Pope Francis did wasn't just like, oh, there's people doing Latin and there's people doing not Latin or vernacular. It was like the insular communities that were being developed centered around Latin Mass.
Right.
I mean, like, in some sense, it's like some of them have probably arguably become like far right sleeper cells. Some of like the most extreme examples. Now, Pope Leo has been the most forceful in like denouncing, for instance, war, the various conflicts we've had around the world. So, like, where am I going with this? Except that, like, I think one of the most interesting challenges will be like the political divisions that have emerged in the Catholic Church, where in some sectors it's become as much of like a faith justification for a political identity, and which has often gone along with worship and things like that. And like he's someone like Leo is someone who is like traditional in some of like the traditional senses. Like
Yeah.
he dressed nice when he came out as Pope. Like
He did.
He did dress in like the formal garb. Like he's into the fashion, for instance. But he's also has been very outspoken against the politicians who have represented these groups that have been like who have been like very copacetic with traditionalists, especially JD Vance. That's what we'll do too. So like
We'll get to that.
yeah, like I think it's gonna be it'll be an interesting needle to thread to like get back to like this is a mode of worship versus this is an identity, and like Leo is against the identity, it appears.
Yeah.
But he is potentially for the form of worship. Could be interesting.
Yeah, yeah. You can kind of see different stances inside of where he's going. Obviously, he is a traditionalist. So, like, he affirmed Catholic teaching based on family between a man and a woman, dignity of the unborn and the elderly. That was like one of his first affirmations: is protecting the elderly, protecting the unborn, and the family unit. That was like one of his initial teachings going in. He affirmed all of those. However, what's very interesting is that he gave an inaugural homily. The Church of Rome presides in charity. It is always and only about loving as Jesus loved. And that was really big because he was in his own way coming against this idea of certain political leaders that were trying to say that you were only to love your family and country. And so that whole homily centered around the idea that Jesus loved the stranger. And so he very much spoke up as the fact that you need to love every human as you love your family. And it was a very deep homily that spoke across the divide.
Mm.
So I do love the fact that he is continuing those ideas.
This to me is going to be the most like interesting thing is he is potentially, he's entering the world as Pope at a very contentious moment that could see a lot of bad stuff happening potentially. And like, where am I going with this? Like how he stands up in the face of like world conflict or like massive human rights abuses. Like, I think there's been a lot of like in the church that like, especially the American church. I think also like the fact that he is American, like, but also not prototypically American.
Yeah.
Feeds into this very interestingly.
No, he spent a long time as a missionary.
Yeah. But like also just even like dispositionally, like he isn't like the majority of the bishops. He probably wouldn't vote with them on a lot of their pet causes in the majority. But like there's a lot like, okay, say take like the pro-life issue, for instance. I feel like there's been a lot of bishops in the U.S. who have compromised other messages in favor of playing nice with dominant political hierarchies on abortion. Like there's rich donors who will pay dioceses lots of money, who are also anti-abortion. And there's politicians who will line up with that and will, be in partnership with the diocese or with the bishop. And they've made nice with that. And then like the statements against like mistreatment of immigrants have been kind of tepid. Like it's like, oh yeah, also please don't deport people without due process or something like that. And like Pope Leo, if this is a global conflict, even if it's not like a world war, if it's a global conflict, he's going to have to make priorities and take sides. And so like, will he prioritize, and it seems like he kind of has to some extent, will he prioritize like anti-war stances, anti-human rights abuses in battlefields issues over culture war issues?
Mm.
He kind of has to a point. If you actually look at some of the things he has said, and again, we'll get to a little bit of this shortly, he has prioritized people over politics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he definitely has. A cool thing about him, by the way, Pope Francis initially started the process for Carlo Acutis, the first
Oh, yeah, I
the
just saw
first
that.
millennial to be a saint. He started the process for it. Pope Leo has now set a date for his canonization. So he'll officially be a saint of the church here shortly, the first millennial to be a saint. So it's kind of a cool thing.
About damn time.
Yeah. Spoken by a millennial.
What's so special about him? I'm asking seriously.
So Carlo Cutas is actually really cool. We should actually do a whole episode around him because the stuff that he highlighted is awesome. We actually, at the parish I go to, Mary Queen of Peace, we actually brought in a full presentation, which took up the entire Marian Lounge below the church, like the whole area, about all of the evidence that Carlo Acutis had actually gathered to show evidence for things like Marian apparition evidences, miracles, Eucharistic miracles. He had actually brought a lot of the evidence forward and established a website for it. And he did this even though he knew that he was dying. He pulled all of us together as a millennial using the technology that was available to him. So we'll go through and I took tons of photos of the displays. It was really cool. We'll go over that. We'll talk about who blessed Carlo Acutis is, the things he had done, because he really does deserve his own episode. He did a lot. He did a lot. In his short life, because he didn't live very long. In his short life, he did a lot. He really did live for the faith. So, kind of cool. But he also was a missionary down south. One of, I think, my favorite stories about him is that his parishioners said that he would jump in the back of pickup trucks and ride from village to village so that way he could do mass and give homilies.
You're talking about the current pope.
The current pope, yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of cool. They were like, yeah, he would just jump in the back of pickups and we'd ride him over to the next village, and then he would do mass. And so it's kind of cool that he was that much for the people. They say they would catch him in the back of the churches, catching a nap, so that way he could make his way to the next village.
Wow.
Yeah. So very, very devoted to the people. So very cool.
He's very relatable. I'm trying to find someone. A coworker sent me a story.
Uh-oh.
Where was this? Oh, here we go.
What has Keith got?
My family's actual it was like an Instagram reel. My family's actual reaction to finding out that the next pope is my mom's literal ex-situationship from when she was 19.
Oh, jeez.
Like, I guess so there's been like someone clipped a TV cast of the 2016 World Series and finding the Pope in the audience with some friends.
That's cute.
But then this one clip was like, I haven't verified like all the details of it, but yeah, my mom had a crush on the Pope when she was 19 or something like that. Or that he plays Words with Friends, I think.
Aww,
he plays a couple different video games. He's the first Pope that we know of to actually play video games. He regularly plays Wordle and Words with Friends with his brothers.
Wordle.
That's cute.
That's great. We do that every night with kids.
That's cool.
I thought he was in attendance for the 2005 World Series. I thought he was in attendance for the 2016 World Series as well. But he is a White Sox fan, so the 2005 World Series makes more sense.
What did I say? I'm sorry, but if you're from Chicago, it's obligatory. You have to be a White Sox fan.
Clearly, someone's a Cubs fan, though. I mean, half of them they filled half the stadium in Cleveland in 2016.
Hey, here's the difference, though. Here's the difference. The White Sox is a sport. The Cubs is a religion.
Oh dear.
To show that kind of devotion.
I'm still salty about the White Sox winning the 2005 World Series because at the time the Indians, the Cleveland baseball team, as I often say when it's pre-Guardians, were actually incredibly good in 2005, but missed the playoffs by a couple games. And I think they would have creamed the White Sox in the playoffs had they made it.
Probably. Gotta let it go, Keith.
I'll try. It's been a while.
As
It'll never
I think
die.
that's a confession.
It's 20 years.
as Elsa once said, let it go. So, in an interview, Vance had said Christian teachings advocate for prioritizing love, first for family,
Oh, jeez.
then neighbors, community, fellow citizens, and lastly, the world. Prevost, now Pope Leo, quoted the article headline, J.D. Vance is wrong. Jesus doesn't ask us to rank our love for others. His most recent post in April shared commentary from a Catholic writer on Mr. Trump's meeting with Salvadoran President Nayib Bukele. I hope I pronounced his name right. The post called the deportation of Maryland resident Kilmore Abrego Garcia to El Salvador illicit and asked, do you not see the suffering? Is your conscience not disturbed? How can you stay quiet?
Wait, the Pope said that?
Uh-huh.
Dang.
So again, he very much advocates for the stranger, kind of like a certain Messiah did. So I kind of love the guy. I very much have advocated for a lot of the same things because in America, we like to talk about America first. A certain president has advocated that America first should always be what we say. But aren't we the ones that came here and committed genocide to claim the country?
Oh, boy.
So what I like to point out is the fact that we need to welcome the stranger the same way that strangers welcomed us.
Well, I guess one could argue that I don't know if we were as welcomed as we would like to say that we were.
I would say Native Americans were very, very welcoming towards us.
No. I don't know. I mean, we had wars with them. Not all of them. Some of them were.
Some of them were. I would say, yeah, definitely.
I know we got the whole Sacagawea story, John Smith in Disney, but I mean, there's a reason why we genocide. Like 90% of the indigenous population?
Yeah. But if you go back to, following the 2017 mass shooting in Las Vegas, which killed 58 people, Prevost, now Pope Leo, reposted a statement from Kupich calling for increased access to mental health care and stronger, sensible gun control laws. He shared a statement from Democratic Senator Chris Murphy of criticizing political inaction on gun safety that read, quote, your cowardice to act cannot be whitewashed by thoughts and prayers, unquote. That is a strong statement. That is a very, very strong statement. And I have often...
Dang, just retweeting Kupich. That's a pretty big... Yeah. That's some lefty cred right there.
I have often cited different studies based on this. If you look at I'm a gun owner. I own several guns.
Oh, you're worshiping guns.
And here's the thing. I advocate for gun safety. I don't understand in this country why we will give somebody a gun but not tell them how to hold it, carry it, clean it, and house it. It makes zero sense that we give people the right to something that can take a life in 1.2 seconds, and yet we won't teach them how to use it. So,
I always got confused by like when there's like all these news stories about people using guns poorly, and like if like there's a lot of pride among gun owners, like wouldn't they be embarrassed, ashamed of like people doing that with guns? Like that always just surprised me that people wouldn't be like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, you have to be safe with guns in the midst of a gun, like a shooting, a mass shooting, or something else where someone who uses a gun irresponsibly and destructively."
As a gun owner, I say true.
Instead, people are like, "Oh, guns don't kill people; people kill people."
I have an EAA, I have a Ruger, and I have a Glock. I own several guns, and I firmly tell you, as a gun owner, nobody should own a gun unless they know how to carry it, house it, and handle it.
Yeah.
And I don't own a gun because I have no interest or time to figure out all that crap.
I mean,
And
it doesn't take that long.
You shouldn't have to if you don't want to.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's a complicated thing. I mean, I don't think our federal government will ever outlaw it. Being that one of our biggest industries in this country is making weapons.
It's true.
It's complicated.
We have Lords of War for sure.
So,
So this gets into like, I feel, okay, people have argued in the Francis era that we were flirting with schism, where we had like, say, like the German church going their own way on their synod, and the synodal way being kind of like an appeasement mechanism to get the German church to feel like they were giving feedback without feeling like they had to go off on their own. But then you have the American church, where you do have a very strong political identity that is very distinct from the rest of the world church. And it's kind of reaching a fever pitch where we're like, there is more and more being asked of that group. Like, it went from like, support this political party because I'm pro-life, or because we're pro-life or whatever, to like, support the end of due process, support mass deportations. It's continuing to escalate. And like, I feel like we're going to be talking about that same threat of like schism, if not like a formal schism, like an informal schism, where like, does the political identity take over, and how does Pope Leo deal with that? Because if he is speaking out continuously against these like kind of things that we would take for granted that popes should speak out against, which is like violence, gun violence, war violence, treating immigrants poorly, all these things. And if that identity is so strong, like, I mean, I can think of like, I've had like Catholic Facebook friends when I've posted something critical of Nazis being like, replying that I've reported you. Like, there's like a certain contingent, like we know a lot of people voted for this, and a lot of people are gung-ho about it, even going into it, and a lot of people of faith are gung-ho.
You say
about
gung-ho?
it. Oh, yeah, I know, yeah.
nice, Keith. Very nice.
He's calling me out.
Like, what kind of crises? Like, I mean, Pope Leo's young, too, for a pope.
He really
got,
is.
How old
He's
is
got
he?
a potential 15, 20 years of crises to deal with.
He's in his 50s. He's young for a
Wait,
pope.
he's 50s? No, wait.
Right? Isn't he?
That young?
I thought so.
Wait, how old is he? When was he born? 50 seems young.
All right. Well, Keith figures that out.
Oh, my gosh. Where's
According
this
to
age?
voting records shared with CBS News and data from Illinois
69.
State Board
Age
of
69.
Elections,
Still a baby for a pope at age
Prevost,
69.
Pope Leo, is registered to vote in the Chicago suburb of New Lenox, Illinois. He has voted in at least 9 general elections, including in 2024, but it's unknown which party he voted for. However, he has also voted in both Republican and Democratic primaries over the years. He voted in the Republican primaries in 2012, 2014, and 2016, including the presidential primaries in
I don't like it.
2012 and 2016.
I don't
He
like it.
last voted in the Democratic Party in 2010. He had also voted in the party's presidential primary in 2008. So, showing you
He's a double dipper.
he's voting he's voting for people he believes who are correct rather than parties.
And then he
I
can't
mean,
be,
maybe.
he can't be
People.
American.
You could argue
rather
all those
than
people are pretty
parties.
wrong.
That he can't be American. Can't have it both ways,
Hey.
Aaron.
I'm a libertarian, so I'm going to lose either way, but I still vote who I believe is correct.
Keith, how old did you say he was?
69.
He's 69.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's actually pretty spry,
Dang, he
honestly.
looks super young.
That's
Yeah.
really young for a pope.
Yeah, he's young, he's spry.
I wouldn't call him young, but he looks really young.
He does. He looks good.
Oh.
How old was John Paul II? I mean, he's kind of our benchmark.
I
for,
think he was also around that age.
Yeah, let's check this out here.
So fun possible story. I've not had this confirmed yet. But if you notice, Keith, have you noticed that when he talks, he holds his upper lip down so you can't see his teeth?
I've not noticed that.
I don't know if this is true.
That's a Chicago thing.
Wait. So I don't know if this is true. But I have heard, possibly, that the reason is because he had a reconstructive surgery.
Oh, interesting.
It gets better. According to stories, and he will not confirm this, so I don't know if it's true, he actually stepped out and pushed a girl out of the street that was about to get hit by a car,
Oh my gosh.
and he was hit.
Whoa.
And they had to reconstruct his face after he was hit. I don't know if this is true.
I need that confirmed.
He will not confirm it. He won't admit if this is true or not, because it's possibly true that he just does not want to play the hero. But that is a story that I was told because I did look it up, noticing the way he carries his face,
Interesting.
because he always lowers his upper lip and he won't show his face. Oh, when he goes to smile and stuff.
Not that it matters, but do we have any pics that I can see?
I can show you after. And when he's talking, it's almost like he purposely keeps his lips down and doesn't smile high enough to see like his teeth and stuff. And
What if that's just a smile?
it could be, but when I looked it up, according to some reports, and these are people who are his parishioners, but he will not validate it. Apparently, he did. If this is true, he did step out and risk his life to help somebody else. So.
I mean, but if that was a true story, why hide it?
Well, if you're a priest, it's because you don't want people to know that you did a good thing.
Also, it's just like a little
That's
bit of
false.
mystique without being
For
too
me,
much
that's
mystique.
false humility.
Is it false, or is it the fact that you don't want to share that? I don't know.
I mean, it is what it is. You help someone.
There's
Just-
things that I've done I don't admit to.
Well, yeah, the bad things.
I can see just letting that float
I know
and being a
this.
rumor. You know, like it's just like it's good, but like you got to actually notice the lip thing. You know what I mean? To even like care.
Yeah.
And then like, oh, now you got like a little speculation. Like it's
Right.
like minor, relatively low stakes speculation. Like
See,
adds to the
yeah,
mystique.
So I'm one
I
of
can
those
see
weird.
letting that build.
So I'm one of those weird people that looked it up.
That is Wikipedia.
Maybe that's why I'm not Pope. There was one time I went to my mom's apartment complex, and it's mostly elderly community.
Yeah.
She's all the way on the top floor, and I go up to the fourth floor, and I'm passing by to get to her apartment. And I walk past this one door to get to hers, and I hear like, "Oh!"
Oh no.
And
Oh no.
I kind of just like, I stop for a second, and I just kind of brush it off. I'm like, these are all old people, and they keep the TV really loud. And I walk away, and I hear, "Oh!" And I'm like, what the heck is going on? So, and my mom's apartment is like the next one over. So I just go and I knock on her door, and it was the loudest I heard it. And we both heard it. And I'm like, all right, I can't deny this.
Nope.
And I go over there, and this, sure enough, man, this lady was having a stroke.
Whoa.
An elderly lady. It was like super hot like it is now. And she didn't have her air working. She didn't know how to work it, blah, blah, blah. She was sitting by the windows. But ever since then, there's been kind of like this,
I'm calling for the canonization of Saint Gumby.
I go in there and I help her and I call the ambulance and, I get her water, blah, blah, blah. I stay by her side, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, oh, if you weren't here, blah, 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 blah. But, but then my mom takes the story and tells people, right? Then the kids find out, and then the manager finds out, and all of a sudden, like, this guy's going to be there to help you.
But you didn't want people to know.
Huh?
But you didn't want people to know.
Yes and no. I mean, it's not like I was going to, like, try to obscure the fact, oh, I don't know who that was. Must have been that other Hispanic guy on the 4th floor whose mother cooks rice.
Yeah, there's so many. There's just so many.
I don't know.
This is
I just
really
think it's funny.
this is really apropos of nothing, but like twice now, I feel like so weird this has happened twice. Twice now in our neighborhood, I have riding on my bike. I have helped someone overdosing on drugs.
Oh, nice. Do you carry Narcan?
No, not at all. Like literally just like calling the ambulance or whatever. Or like the first time was coming off of like at the time it was coffee off of Pearl Road in Broadview.
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
was turning-
good spot. Product endorsement. Coffee's awesome.
Well, they're not open anymore. They haven't opened in years.
Oh, darn it.
Now it's 6-shooter. 6-shooter's great.
Oh, 6-shooter's great.
Yep. But yeah, I turned the corner and there was like I was just like helping somebody like sit like someone was like, hey, we're helping this woman like she was like falling over and like they were like keeping her up like from falling over while the police came or whatever, the ambulance came. Like I was about to get on my bike and then she was there like right at that corner. The second time I was riding out of the Treadway Creek Trail, like I was coming back home and riding like when you exit the trail in Harmody Park, and I like exit the trail, I exit the little like sidewalk part, and I get onto the road so I can turn right onto whether it be South Hills at that point, and I'm behind a car, and the car just isn't moving.
Huh.
And I'm like dinging my bell eventually, and then I'm finally like, oh, like, because at the biker, I like to keep cars in front of me. If cars
Okay.
are behind me, they can hit me.
That's true.
Yes. So finally, I pull to the side, and she's just like slumped over. So yeah, like then it's like me and like a bunch of other people. Like apparently, people like play in the park for like 45 minutes or an hour, didn't even notice her. And like yeah, we're just like trying to like call a ambulance and
Oh, man.
figure stuff out. It's just weird that this happened twice. Like that's just like my
Yeah.
All right. So if you or I were to be Pope and we were in a running to be a Pope, would you hide that story or obscure it? Or would you just say for what it is? Oh, yeah, I did that.
I think I would talk about it because it would be this weird thing about like it would be part of my homily about why it's important to ride your bike when you can because you notice more things.
Exactly. I would just acknowledge it for what it is. And I wouldn't blow it out of proportion. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I heard some TV. I honestly thought it was a TV. I wasn't going to help it. I stopped.
I helped with something I don't like to admit to because I don't want to get sued.
Oh, yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, I did help somebody who was very, very, very intoxicated, rolled over several cars, and and there was a lot of gas involved, and let's just say that I don't want to admit to it because I don't want to get sued later, but they didn't get burned inside of anything. But yeah, I'd rather not like say where I was.
So I guess there could be reasons why the Pope didn't want to tell it.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be key to my papacy though because one of my key like pillars would be like encouraging bicycle use. I would like write an encyclical about bicycles.
And I guess there is some...
He could endorse backseat driving in pickups.
I guess there is some biblical precedent for it. You know, because when Christ healed the blind man, Christ was like, look, don't go telling everybody.
He did.
Don't be a spaz
He
about it.
did, yeah. He did try to say
It was the first thing the guy did. He runs out, Jesus, help me.
Is that the Message translation? Don't be a spaz.
No, that was the
Oh,
Gumby Bible Over Brews
well played.
translation.
Well played. That would totally be in the message too.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
That's the new Gumby version.
Well, in a 2023 interview With Vatican News, the now Pope was asked about the relationship between bishops and social media. He said, quote, "Social media can be an important tool to communicate the gospel message reaching millions of people. We must prepare ourselves to use social media well," he said. "I'm afraid that sometimes this preparation has been lacking." He went on to say, "At the same time, the world today, which is constantly changing, presents situations where we really have to think several times before speaking or before writing a message on Twitter in order to answer or even to ask a question in a public forum. In full view of everyone, sometimes there is a risk of fueling division and controversy." And then he finished, "There is a great responsibility to use social networks, communication, correctly because it's an opportunity, but it is also a risk. And it can do damage to communication of the church. That is why one must be very prudent in the use of those means."
I can't find anything wrong that I disagree with about that.
I mean, all we have to do is look at our modern media to understand what he's saying. It's so divisive. I mean, people will take one little statement and run with it.
True.
This is gospel. The Pope said it, right? When really he might be talking about, whatever meal he ate that day.
True. It's very true. And at the same time, acknowledging, like, look, it ain't going anywhere. It is not going anywhere.
Social media will find you.
So either we look to be responsible and do this right and, yeah.
And the thing is that all of us live in a community where you're more than ever your past will find you out. I'm going to say this very, very, very gently.
Oh boy.
My youngest kids recently found out a little something about my past. And I had to tread on it very, very lightly and remind them that I was not a Christian and I was trying to take care of my family when certain things took place. But they found me out. And they were very forgiving with it when understanding the context of the things that took place. But it goes to show you that what you didn't do in the modern age, it will be found out.
Stop it, Eric. Come on. You got to give a little more than that.
My son found out about one of my former careers.
Aaron was in a mafia.
That was it. That was it.
There you
Yep.
I was going with either sperm donor or porno.
Yeah. Former hitman. Yeah. Unfortunately, it was leaked on Twitter. But yeah, your past will find you.
The rhythm is gonna get you. The rhythm is gonna get you.
The rhythm got me. There's nothing hidden that won't be found out.
That is so true.
Yeah.
That's a spiritual principle.
It really is. In the past, it kind of spoke about your future spiritual place, but now everything you do is visible.
Yep.
And it will be found out. And the best thing you can do is own up to it and admit that you were wrong.
Yeah.
Despite what you did, you were wrong. I was wrong.
I mean, heck, we got to say that on our podcast.
We do.
Like, we've had some things flagged, taken down, whatever.
Yeah, 100%.
And I go back and I listen to it as I'm like, holy crap, I said that. Like, all right, there it is.
Yeah. Yeah, the things that we say do find us out.
Sure.
And so the Pope is correct. We have to double think, triple think what we say before we say it.
That is solid advice. Very, very good.
Yeah, it really is. I have not seen anything that would make me think he's a bad pope. Everything he has told me has said that he is the right person for the job. I look forward to hearing more of his homilies and hearing the things that he has to say. because so far I think that they did a really good job of pulling him out
So fast.
so fast.
Man.
All right, let me throw out a few things that like challenges. Let's see how he deals with them.
Uh-oh.
All right, so
Okay, listeners,
Bring
beware.
it,
This is Keith.
Bring it.
all right. Of course, I'm gonna talk about gay stuff.
Ah,
But, all right, no, here's an interesting thing. So Pope Francis had like the most cachet with the LGBTQ community of probably any pope.
he did a good job on that, though.
Yeah,
I thought.
Which
Wait, remind me his position.
I mean, like
Who am I to judge?
official, yeah, exactly. That's the
Okay.
best summation of it. Is so what was interesting about his position is like it probably was as much about like like the teaching was part of it, but like maybe even a bigger part of it, or at least as big, was like the fact that he was actually kind of like undisciplined about his messaging. Like he would just do an interview and just like say whatever. So he would like that's where we got like who am I to judge? You know what I mean? Like
I would say that that's more or less the media loving to run with a simple statement that he made, rather
Right.
than looking at the context of
But-
everything he was saying.
but he said it to the media, and
He did, but when they ran with the statement and they didn't pull the two paragraphs.
Okay. I mean, I'm like I like
Hey,
that a-
airtime is not cheap, Aaron.
yeah, I like that like I feel like popes never really had spoken in that context before.
Okay.
Like even if it was slightly taken out of context, like just the fact that he was like speaking plainly, speaking casually, was like different.
I love that.
Yeah.
I so love that about him.
So
he spoke from the heart.
Not that he doesn't have a ton of heart. I maybe by default expect that a little less with Pope Leo because like he seems more disciplined.
Oh, he's way more disciplined.
He's like a little more buttoned up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
And he showed that from the get-go.
So where am I going with this? I guess there's like two angles. Like, all right, the inflection point I'm seeing is like, okay, we had Pope Francis. He had welcomed like trans folks, you know, in his audience. He had sent even kind letters to nuns who had ministered to trans people. We know, I mean, of course, his party line was like the official line on, you know, human sexuality or whatever, gender. Pope Leo, of course, is affirming of that official line. We are reaching a point where we might see, I mean, we kind of already are seeing severe human rights abuses happening to trans folks. Like the UK just had a ruling. It's like not even just a US thing. And that people are using it as an excuse to not recognize trans folks, where like basically they're not allowed to go to the bathroom in the American South. Like we're probably not that far from actually seeing like people killed over this.
I hope not. Oh, my Lord, I hope not. Again, every life is so valuable.
Right, exactly.
Every
I hope not
human
either.
life is so valuable. I really hope that, listen, we are the American people. Beyond anything we disagree with, we should value human life above all.
I would like that to be true.
Yeah.
I think Pope Leo is going to have to deal with this crisis in some significant way, where there are significant human rights abuses happening that he can't ignore. And what he says is going to have significant cachet on the world stage as it relates specifically to trans people. As small as a population as they are, the backlash has been so severe, so significant. It feels like stuff that I never dreamed could happen in the modern age, because I only heard that happening to black people in Jim Crow before I was born, or to Jews in World War II.
Yeah. So I have a lot of hope in this, because he has shown himself to be somebody who takes a lot of deep thought in everything he says. I really do believe, and I hope it's validated, I really do believe that he'll be a pope to find conciliar, ethical, humanitarian bridges to help everybody in need, regardless of where they come from.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I think one tangible thing, and I can't remember specifically what, I feel like Pope Francis did some of this, is when religious leaders differentiate between like civil laws and church teaching, that can be a bridge. I think Pope Francis spoke out against, was it, which African country had like a law that basically outlawed like gay people or something like that?
There's so many countries down there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but it was a recent one.
Africa is a huge country.
I thought Pope Francis had said something about that isn't cool.
He did. He did.
So that is one area, like a pretty easy area to stake out. Is like, just because this is a church teaching doesn't mean that civil laws should reflect it in that same way.
Yeah. So the church values every life as an intrinsically valuable essence that needs to be protected. And I stand by that. I really do think that every single life is valuable regardless of where you stand. Because, again, to quote Pope Francis, who are we to judge? I know I'm a sinner. I've done terrible things. I hope to God I am redeemed on the last day. I don't claim to be better than anybody else. Like, literally anybody else. So I hope to God that everybody sees the value in human life.
This has made me think of something like that'd be interesting to see whether he would do this or not. Like, I feel like an interesting thing about Pope Francis's papacy is like Americans would often project that he was talking about them when he actually wasn't talking about them. Like,
No.
Laudato, was it Laudato Si? That's the environmental
Allowed
one.
to see, yeah.
Yeah, like people be like, "Oh my gosh, he's like saying you gotta use electric car," or like he was really talking about like a bunch of like pollution getting like poured out in like, you know, Argentina.
Francis was very promotional of our environment.
Right,
Yes.
but also he was talking about a world context. Like,
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
would be interesting if Leo, being American, was often very specifically talking to America. That would be interesting because so much of what happens in the world happens because Americans think a certain way, or at least,
Absolutely.
and like, if as incendiary as it would be, as like fostering of conflict it could be, it would be very interesting and spicy to see a pope go squarely after America and its values. Because, and not just because that's spicy and interesting and like inflammatory, but because of what that means to the rest of the world. When people see America do things, they often think that means it's okay for everybody to do them. And if you see a pope speaking out against America's excesses and injustices, that could send a very different message to the rest of the world.
I hope you're correct. I've not traveled the whole world. I have been across Canada, Thailand, the Philippines, and I will say our rock, definitely, the rock from America plays across all these countries. So there's definitely values that come from America across all of these countries. There are shared values that happen across all of these countries. Yeah,
Yep.
I can totally see it.
I get it.
Yep.
So far, I like the guy.
I think he's doing great, but he's new. He's new. Let's see what we say in a year from now.
Yep.
But Pope Leo, I have a lot of faith in what you're doing right now, and I really hope you continue down this path. God bless you, Godspeed, and I really hope that you will become everything I really believe you're becoming. So, Keith, last thoughts?
Don't you dare disappoint us, Pope Leo.
Gumby?
Yeah, don't worry. There's no pressure going on in the world for you to really.
It's totally chill.
Yeah, everything is good. You could just coast through this. You know, in fairness to him, no pope has ever gone through that. No spiritual leader worth his weight has ever gone through that. So we do. I would surely support this pope and pray for him.
Amen.
And there's nothing.
May your
taboo
papacy
over-
be uneventful.
Godspeed. Good night.
May you keep your head in the sand.
Please go to BibleBrews.com and check us out on Facebook,
Yeah.
X, and go to our Facebook group, Bible Over Brews In. We love to talk and have conversations there. Love to see you there.
Maybe have somebody call in.
Godspeed.
Ooh, that would be spicy, especially if you want to argue with me. Please do.
Yeah, we don't
Please,
know.
please argue with Keith. Please. Oh my Lord, please
dying
argue with
for it.
Keith. Please argue with Keith.
Good at you guys.